It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no! I actually love you, but
Oh, it's so wrong. I gotta go. I got something to do. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Survivor Social, the Survivor podcast, where we discuss Survivor with a focus on the social elements of the game. My name is Kara, and today I'm here with a special guest. I'm here with Alex Manard from The Amazing Race Season 27 and Naked and Afraid. So, Alex, so happy to have you here. Let's talk about The Amazing Race and also Naked and Afraid. What are your thoughts on this season of The Amazing Race?
This Amazing Race has been kind of a fun one to watch. Personally for me, because I know most of the cast that's on there from all the charity events I've done. So it's really interesting for me because it's like, I want to cheer for this team, but I want to cheer for this team. It's like, oh my God, I don't know who to cheer for. So watching it play out and then them sticking with just kind of a European trip, that was pretty interesting to me, but man, they're still going to awesome places.
Yeah. The cast for the season was really stacked, and it'll be exciting to see what happens. I think the finale is like coming up. Is it like this week or next week? Like really soon?
It's the week before the Survivor finale.
Oh,
so next week.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Soon.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Naked and Afraid a little bit, because I don't know too much about it, but it seems like it's similar-ish to Survivor, but without the
it's similar to Survivor without the social aspect of it. We're not trying to vote each other off or anything. We're literally just trying to survive the 21 days in an unforgiving terrain. So, and we're also butt naked.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which probably makes it harder.
It's no joke. Like, the bugs are horrendous, and they bite you everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, I mean everywhere. Mm-hmm. So it's a little wild.
I bet. So, do you think having been on Naked and Afraid would make going on Survivor easier? Or do you think it'd be harder? I think you'd be more prepared.
So with the survival aspect of it, I think I'd be fine. But the social aspect of Survivor and trying to navigate all the advantages, trying to navigate people you're about to vote out, you know, the deceit in the game that'd be completely new for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you just try to survive. Is there a prize at the end if you all survive, or like what happens? I guess
it's kind of the thing about you just get to survive. Like there's not really a prize. It's more of a challenge than it is anything. Mm-hmm. So you strip down butt naked. You get put in an unforgiving terrain. And when I mean unforgiving terrain, I did 21 days in the Amazon jungle in Ecuador. So unforgiving terrains.
Yeah.
And then you just try and survive the full 21 days.
That sounds like an adventure. And I feel like it probably would help a little bit for Survivor. Would you go on Survivor? If you had
a heartbeat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. So, But it cracks me up because most of the Survivor players that I've met, they're all like, oh, you're on Naked and Afraid? I would never do Naked and Afraid. So I feel like I got a little leg up on them on that part.
Yeah. Do you think the reverse would be easier from Survivor to Naked and Afraid?
I guess it depends, because it's hard for me to watch Survivor and see them try to make a fire, because some of them are really struggling. Some don't know how to do it or didn't train them well enough. So unless they really start practicing a lot of those skills and knowing what plants are edible or which ones could kill you, you really got to study and know your survival skills. So I think it would be harder to do Naked and Afraid.
Yeah. It sounds like it. It sounds like you going on Survivor would be a little bit easier versus the other way around. But, I guess you never know unless you're out there.
Right.
Let's get into the episode. Before we get in, make sure to like and subscribe to Survivor Now on YouTube and Spotify. And as a reminder, we are live right now. So send us any questions about anything. We will get to them at the end of the episode, as always. And yeah, so let's get into it. So we're at the final 7. This episode opens up with Rizzo saying that the intention of playing his fake idol in the last episode was to get Christina to play hers. But Christina kind of beat him to it. She played her idol first, and he kind of just did it to have some fun. He said the jury was enjoying it. What did you think about this? And that he kind of did that for no reason at that point.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to showboat and maybe build a resume or some sort with the jury a little bit. I think if it was the other way around, if he played his fake idol first and then Christina played hers out of like panic, I think it would have been a lot better move for him. But Christina do it, and so it is what it is for him.
Do you think knowing this like would make the jury be like, what was the point? Like, why was that necessary? Like, why are you just rubbing it in our face, kind of? Or do you think
I think everybody on the jury knows who Rizzo is by now. So I don't think it really shocked him that he tried to play a cool, flashy move like that.
Yeah, they're just like, it's Rizzo.
Yeah, of course, Rizzo's trying to do something.
I was surprised that was the intention of what him doing or playing the fake idol was. I thought he was going to kind of play it off as, well, that's what I had. I don't have an idol, and then try and get by like that. But it was interesting to hear his real reasoning.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody knows he has a real idol. He told everybody and then made a fake one. So
yeah.
But I mean, if you try to, I don't think anybody bought it. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't think anybody bought that he doesn't have an idol.
Yeah, everyone knows. He even says in this episode that he still has his idol. I think he says that at Tribal Council. So it's still out there. So then it goes to Yellow Sophie telling Christina and Steven why she flipped the vote to Jawan, or why she flipped her vote to Jawan, and how she thought Sage would never flip. So this would be like the only time that it could really happen. And then Yellow Sophie and Sage are talking about voting Jawan. How do you feel Sage handled Jawan being voted out and her conversations with Yellow Sophie at this moment?
I think Sage reacted the way she should have. You know, her number one ally got voted out. It was a blindside. Nobody saw it coming. And then, you know, with her conversations with Yellow Sophie, it's like, why would she trust any of them? Like, it made total sense to me on the way that she was reacting. Like, why would I trust you guys? You guys completely kept me in the dark and didn't vote with me.
Yeah. And Sage mentions that what hurt her the most was when, right after Jawan was voted out, Yellow Sophie was smiling. And, like, she was happy that she just did this. And, like, I understand why that would be hurtful. Like, you just voted out my number one ally, and now you're smiling about it. Do you think that, do you think that hurts? Is that bad jury management, basically? We know what happens in this episode, but, like, had that what happened not happened, if Yellow Sophie makes it to the end, do you think that would be a reason for Sage to not vote for Yellow Sophie?
Well, the way I view it is, you know, Survivor's a social game. And so, like, all emotions that you're playing, every facial expression you're having, it's going to have a consequence, whether it's a good one or a bad one. And so with Yellow Sophie smiling at the end of that, you know, it tells the jury, hey, I was behind that. I was the one that made that happen. But it also puts a bigger target on the players that you're still playing with. So it's, you know, it's a win-lose kind of situation there. Like, what do? You just sit there quiet? No?
Yeah. And then we see Rizzo and Blue Sophie talking about going for Steven next, and how that's kind of maybe the next move they would want to make. At this point, do you think Steven is a threat, that it would be a right move to get him out if they were able to?
Before this episode, I would say no. After this episode, yeah. That dude with the block of vote, with, you know, all that stuff going on, and he won immunity. Like, this episode was Steven the whole way. He completely changed the game, winning all this stuff. He
did. This was such a good episode for him.
Yeah.
And it was exciting to see that. It's always fun to see someone who is more on the bottom kind of turn it around in their favor and get to see what they can do with that. And, you know, we also see Blue Sophie talk about how she thinks she's the number 3 in the trio of her, Rizzo, and Savannah. And that she goes to Sage and is talking about maybe making a move on Savannah this round, or at some point. Do you think Blue Sophie going for Savannah is the right move? Like, do you think that is beneficial to her?
I think Rizzo and Savannah's relationship is unbreakable right now.
Mhm.
And when you get dynamic duos like that, you got to target one of them. So I wish Sage would have taken Blue Sophie a little more serious about it. But then again, I understand why Sage felt the way she did. Everybody betrayed her.
Do you think Savannah is a bigger threat than Rizzo out of the two?
Oh, that's a good question. One thing that has impressed me about Rizzo the most is that he has yet to play his idol. He has been thrown around so much, and somehow he has been able to not get voted out and still has his idol. So, yeah, I'd say Rizzo's a pretty big threat.
Yeah, and he hasn't really been getting as many votes as Savannah's been getting at tribals either, which is also kind of crazy. He's
playing a hell of a game.
Yeah. I think Rizzo would be a bigger threat over Savannah. And I think in the end, I think Rizzo would get away with a lot more of his antics than Savannah would. Like, we see Savannah smiling and stuff, but I think people's feelings on Savannah are different than how they feel about Rizzo, it seems, where they're like, oh, that's just Rizzo. Where Savannah, it seems a little more personal when she is like smiling or like talking to people.
I think Savannah's pretty devious. I think, I don't know if she's like in charge of all the boats or like, you don't get a lot of the Rizzo Savannah talk anymore, more than because they're tight no matter what. So they're kind of working the whole tribe and going for other people, but still coming back together. So it's hard to say who's playing a harder game, but I think one of them needs to go here soon.
Yeah, especially now. After this episode, they're at 6. Rizzo still has an idol.
And Blue Sophie still has knowledge of power.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she hasn't stolen Rizzo's idol yet.
Stolen Rizzo's idol, or, well, if she steals Rizzo's idol, that's a big target on her back.
Well, she'd be safe for at least a vote.
True.
She'd be completely immune. It is risky, and they're a trio, but I'd have to say she is kind of the bottom 3 of that trio right there. I think she needs to pull a move here soon.
Yeah. She could also, well, we can discuss it after the journey. So a boat comes to the island, and it's time for another journey, and no one really wants to go because the message they got says it's going to be strenuous. So Steven says, I'll go. He knows he's on the bottom. This is a perfect opportunity for him. So he goes on the journey, and basically the journey is Steven has to run around the perimeter of this island collecting numbers. And that was not an easy run. The rocks, he's falling. What did you think of this journey?
Oh my gosh. As soon as Steven read it, I was like, man, I it'd be cool if he got it, but I completely understand if he didn't. And he got it. The him climbing over the rocks and everything just to get to the next number, and then having to remember all those numbers as you're barely have a breath. It was wild. It was a cool one, and it was a tough one, and I was super proud to see Steven get it.
Yeah, that was not easy. It was very impressive to see how he maneuvered it and to get back, and it didn't even look like it was close to the top. So he must have did it kind of quick.
It wasn't well, and I don't know if you saw it, but there was a piece at the bottom of the thing that the ball was standing off of. That was the lever. So he was maybe less than a foot away from it actually dropping.
Mm-hmm. So very exciting to see him get it. He gets an advantage. He gets to keep his vote. It would have been pretty, well, this is before immunity, but had he lost his vote, that would not have been
a
good thing. Yeah, that would not have been good. But he gets to keep it, and he gets a vote block. So he gets to secretly block someone's vote before they go to tribal. And they don't know who did it, but when they get to the voting booth, they see that their vote is blocked. What do you think about this advantage? Do you like this one, or do you think they could have given him something better?
I think final 7 it doesn't have a lot of power, but 6, I mean, he could get anybody he wants next round.
Yeah.
So if he has him, Christina, and Sage go with him, he's only got to block Savannah, Rizzo, or Sophie's vote, and done. One of them's going home. So it's got tremendous power now.
Oh yeah, you're so right. At 6, it does have way more power than it does at 7, and I really hope he's able to like do something pretty cool with it. And I think he'll be able to. And at camp, when Steven gets back, he tells them exactly what happens. He tells them he has an advantage. He got it, but he doesn't say what he had. Do you think telling everyone that was the right move?
I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. There's so much, I don't know, this new era, like everybody's all for telling everybody about what they have. And, you got Blue Sophie and nobody knows she has a power of knowledge. And then Steven's like, I have something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. That creates so much panic and chaos. Like everybody's like, what does he have? What can he do? Like, I loved it.
Yeah. And we even see that happening with Rizzo, where he's like going through everything that it could be, the scenarios, and he is decided that it's a vote steal. He thinks for sure, he's telling Steven he thinks it's a vote steal. And, it's kind of working in his advantage, Steven, that Rizzo is kind of getting paranoid. And we see it later on when it comes to planning what to do for the vote. And, we also see Blue Sophie say she's not concerned. She has her knowledge, his power. Do you think she would steal Steven's advantage?
Well, the thing with the knowledge of power is you got to know what it is. So if Steven doesn't tell anybody what it is and nothing gets back to Sophie, then she can't steal it. Or she could be like, hey, I want your steal a vote. And it's like, can't have it. It's a block a vote, And then
That's
her
a good
advantage
point.
is gone.
Yeah. That would be very interesting if that did happen. And also, I feel like it wouldn't work because he has to play it before they go to tribal. So then if he plays before they go to tribal and she comes up with something to say at tribal, she just altogether wastes it. And it's kind of an embarrassing play a little bit. Like,
and it is. And she'd expose her whole game, especially with that advantage.
I guess that would really show like where her loyalties lie, because if she goes, I don't know, maybe not. I feel like that just wouldn't be good for her. It would expose her.
She needs to do something. I had high hopes for her, especially coming off the Blue Tribe, and she's just hanging out.
Yeah, she started off really strong. I think she has good social relationships with people. She has the best two on her side with Rizzo and Savannah, and I also think she has a good story when she gets to the end, being on the bottom and making her way kind of to the top.
Yeah, unless the final 3 is Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be like a Jake thing where you don't get any votes at the final 3.
Yeah. Maybe in this next episode, maybe she'll flip over to the other side. And we hear talks of her wanting to get Savannah out. So maybe that's on the horizon. Maybe it's foreshadowing.
Maybe.
But we get to the immunity challenge, and the beginning of this when they're on the mat was interesting because we see Blue Sophie say, I know what this challenge is. It looks familiar. And Jeff is like, so you explain it. Like, you go ahead. What did you think of this moment? Did you? And then she said no. She's like, I'm good.
Yeah. I love that Jeff Probst is starting to like bring out some of his humor. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys all know the game. You all know how I talk. You've been watching this for years. Like, go ahead, give it a shot. Mm-hmm. And I love this aspect of Jeff to where he's kind of like joking with everybody a little more instead of just being serious. All right, let's get to it. Like I kind of like it. And Steven, he was pretty damn near close to doing exactly I was impressed.
He really was close, and he did a good job impersonating Jeff. It was funny. One thing about Steven is he's going to be funny.
Yeah.
He's always doing something funny.
Yeah.
And and this also is a reward challenge where they're getting all types of spaghetti, tiramisu, garlic bread, drinks and whatever. And, this challenge is one we've seen a million times, but they put a little twist on it where instead of it being like a floppy, literally, instead of
literally a twist.
The whole thing is spinning. What did you think about the little upgrade to this challenge? Did you like it? Did you like the old way better?
Man,
Easier?
I think the old way is harder still with the teeter-tottering part of it. But man, everybody was like 1 letter or 2 letters away from completing it, and then they all just started toppling over. Like, if that doesn't give you like a sense of hope, and then all of a sudden it's just shattered. Like, what was it? It was Blue Sophie dropped first, and she was like right behind Steven. And like she pretty much gave up because there was no way she could catch up. So
because so many people had it.
Yeah, I liked the piece to where it was like it got so much harder when you got closer, and then everything just started falling out.
Mm-hmm. All of them, like their stacks looked so like they were about to fall at any moment. I
thought Stevens was gone.
Yeah,
I was sitting on the edge of my seat. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that thing is tipping."
It was, but you know what? He pulls it out. He wins his second individual immunity, and he gets to pick 2 people to go on reward with him. And he picks Christina, and he says it's because, it's someone who he's been with the whole time, and she just played an idol on him last round, so he wants to repay her. And then he picks Rizzo, who he says hasn't had food in a while, and Rizzo gets emotional about this. Do you think he picked the right 2 people for this reward?
It's always interesting with who you have to pick for rewards because you're away from everybody else. So you can actually have like that 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 session to really kind of talk and get games opened up. And I thought it was interesting that he picked Rizzo. One, I think Steven was just trying to do a nice thing. Like Rizzo hasn't eaten in a while. But that also says something. Because Rizzo earlier was talking to Steven about wanting to work with him, and then Steven picks him for the reward. So I don't know if that was a social piece to it that Steven was trying to play, or if he was just being nice. But I didn't see anything wrong with either choice.
Yeah, I think he made the right choices. I also think it was interesting that he only got to pick 2 people, and it was 3 of them going when they would still need 1 other person back at camp for a vote to go through. So I found that to be an interesting part of it as well, where they still have to rely on someone else. But I think it makes sense. I think picking Rizzo was smart, and especially, when they're at the reward and Rizzo's telling him like, I think it's time to go for Yellow Sophie. You get to keep your advantage for another round here. What did you think of Rizzo telling him that? I was a little surprised that he wouldn't have wanted to try and get it flushed.
I think Yellow Sophie was doing a lot more than the show kind of gave her credit for. Because I mean, she won 2 immunity challenges. She worked on getting the Jawan vote voted out. I think there was a lot more going on to where more people, because they're sitting at the reward challenge. They bring up her name. She's trying to get Savannah out. She goes to the beach, and then everybody's like, let's get her out. Like, the fact that everybody in a final 7 voted for one person, I think she was pretty good at what she was doing, and they caught her. Yeah,
she had to be, because they all really did come to that agreement really easily, and we know it was easy for Sage because that's what Sage wanted, and because he did one vote. And even like at camp when Blue Sophie, Savannah, and Sage are talking, Savannah's like, yeah, Rizzo will be in on it. She's like, he'll be good with it. So like, this must have been something that they've been talking about for a minute that we haven't really seen too much of.
But she had to lose an immunity challenge to be able to be that vulnerable.
That's true. Yeah.
She could have won her way to the end.
She's always right up there too. She's always close to winning when she doesn't win.
Yeah. I think for everybody else's game, it was smart because I could have saw her winning it.
I think so too. And they made good points to why voting her out makes sense. She's voted correctly every time. She's always in the top 3 of the challenges. She's a good talker. And she, oh my gosh, sorry. And she's won she's won 2 immunity challenges where she's one of 3 people who have won an immunity challenge.
Yeah.
So
she was a big threat.
She was. And it also lets Steven keep his advantage to the next round, which he says, makes it more valuable going into 6.
I'm so happy to see him use that. I can't wait.
Me too. Him getting to save it is just so good. And, we also do hear some back and forth about maybe they will do Savannah, maybe over Yellow Sophie, because they could have the numbers and blindside her here. Do you think that would have been a smarter move?
I don't know. So the way I kind of thought about it was Rizzo and Savannah were on the bottom once. Mm-hmm. They somehow worked magic to where Rizzo didn't have to play his idol, then both of them were safe. And now they're on the top leading almost every vote. And to me, it's like, why wouldn't you try to get one of them out and explode Rizzo and Blue Sophie's game? Like, I'm a little biased because I really liked Yellow Sophie, but it's like you got to see where the power dynamics are. And now it's 3 versus 3.
And if they all think that, if Rizzo, Savannah, and Blue Sophie think the vote is going on Yellow Sophie, Rizzo's not going to be tempted to play his idol. So they could have easily taken that shot had they wanted to. And Steven still could have kept his advantage probably. Yeah.
Savannah and Rizzo were both vulnerable here, and nobody even blinked an eye.
No. It's impressive how they're able to keep getting this far.
It really is. Like, they're playing a good game.
They are.
They're not my favorites on the season, but man, they are.
Isabel says it's easier to work with the enemy Savannah, than Sophie, who betrayed you. Sage is super emotional, but she gets it. I understand why Sage would want to go for Yellow Sophie here as well. I think it makes sense for her.
Yeah,
and Sage has been wanting Savannah out for so long and hasn't gone through. So it's kind of nice to see her try and want to do something different this time.
Yeah, and I'm all for the revenge vote. I totally get it. Your number 1 gets voted out. You know who started it. Why not go for her? But when she's starting to come to you to get somebody else out, that's even more in a power position. Like, sometimes in this game, it's okay to be emotional, and sometimes you got to not be emotional. You got to think the long-term game. So that's kind of how I view it. Like,
I was worried that Sage was just going to have tunnel vision on Savannah this entire time, and that was what's going to be her downfall. But I feel like we're seeing her, kind of open up her game a little bit more now that Jawan is gone, kind of in a way, because she was still getting revenge for him. But, like, I feel like now that Sage voted with them, maybe that will give them a little more trust in her, which could help her then maybe blindside them.
Yeah. I mean, it could, but I don't know. The Savannah, Blue Sophie, and Rizzo, they're just – something's got to happen here, because otherwise they're going to make it to the final 3, no issues.
Yeah. Even though okay, at this point, who do you think is the biggest threat to win? Or like the top 3 biggest threats to win?
I think Steven might be up there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's about to really explode the game up. I think Rizzo's up there. And I'd probably, unless Blue Sophie does something, I think it's going to be Savannah.
Yeah.
So those are my top 3 right now for the final tribal. So I'd be interested to see if I'm true or not.
I agree. I think those 3 would. I could definitely see Steven winning if he's in the end. I think he has a good story. I think he has done well in the challenges to back it up. He's done things. So that's why it's like Blue Sophie. what are you going to do to get yourself there to give yourself the best chance of winning? Who do you think her best chance of winning against would be?
Man, if she pulls a big move and turns on Savannah and Rizzo and makes it to the final 3, I think she wins it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she'd beat Christina. And I think it'd be a pretty close one between her and Steven if it was those final 3.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Sage could win?
I don't know. I don't know, because the only big move she's got so far, and if the only jury vote that we know for a fact she would have would be Juwan's.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That would be a tough one.
Yeah. A final 3 with Christina and Sage could be the easy win potentially.
I would say Sage wins that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christina's not doing. She's just kind of going with the flow right now. Is kind of how I'm seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was on jury, I'm all about the gameplay. Like, sorry, I don't. The social game's 100% a piece of it, but you don't have to work the jury. I'm looking at your gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just don't see Christina getting one.
Do you think how people go out and like what those last conversations are like with people will like change how people feel on the jury? Like, and to go back to last episode, like we saw Christina and Savannah kind of have a conversation that didn't really go well. Christina didn't really like, and Savannah was very straightforward and was like, who are you voting for? If that was their last conversation, do you think Christina went home, do you think Christina would not vote Savannah because of that?
I don't think Christina's voting Savannah regardless.
Well, yeah.
but I see what you're trying to say there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's last conversations are always going to be the biggest piece, and then every tribal after that, how you present yourself, how you answer Jeff's questions, like that's how you win the jury over. And then when you get to the final tribal, then you have to you just let everything out. You tell
Mm-hmm.
everything that you did. You expose everything that you know, and I think that's how you win the game. So,
do you think if Sophie, Blue Sophie, doesn't use her knowledge as power and like reveals it at the end that she had that, do you think that'll be a positive to her game or a negative?
it'll be negative.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you hold on to that with nobody knowing it when you could have easily blown the game up? So she could have asked Christina for her idol.
Yeah.
Why didn't she do that? You know?
She's known where every advantage has been.
Yeah, she really has. And she's just not doing anything with it. She's got to pull the trigger at some point.
Maybe she'll do it at 5.
That would be wild. If
Yeah.
Rizzo still has it.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Yeah. I mean, the rate he's going, he'll still have it.
At this point, yeah. Let's see. In the chat, Isabel says it's between Savannah and Steven. Rizzo, I don't know if he gets the respect, especially next to Savannah. Okay.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Gemini type says, I think Sophie B needs to sit with Savannah and Sage.
I think Savannah's got her over that one. Unless
Yeah.
Sophie B does something big, I think Savannah's got it. That's an interesting final 3, though, if it is.
It is. I mean, maybe her move was getting out Rizzo,
Maybe.
potentially.
Maybe.
Let's see. And then Zan says, I think Sophie must turn on Rizzo or Savannah with the knowledge is power to have a chance at winning. Yeah,
Yep, I agree.
for sure. She only has 2 chances left. So
Yeah,
we gotta do it soon. We're just getting down to the wire. So, but she also says, Blue Sophie's considering voting for Savannah, but says then she'd be going into the end game with people she doesn't fully trust.
So what?
Do you think if she goes...
You broke up the biggest dynamic duo of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you go to the end with people you don't trust? All you got to do is sit at Final Tribal and tell your game. Doesn't matter whose game is next to you. Make sure your game's better than theirs.
Do you think that would put a bigger target on her back if she did
100%.
that?
She'd have to win immunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd be gone real quick if she did that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got to do it.
She does. You know, I could understand why she might not want to go against them, because we have seen they do value her, and we see Rizzo saying, like, how can I keep my three together? Like, they are considering her in what they're doing. But, you know, if she wants to win, she can't go to the end with them. But she also wants to make sure that she's with with people that won't vote her out. So it is tough. I guess it's
start doing better on the challenges.
Yeah.
Get immunity. I'm sorry. Like, you got to do something here.
Well, now one immunity beast is out. There's only 2 left. So that opens up chances for people to win.
It does.
So we get to tribal council, and, you know, Sage is talking about how if being emotional about Jawan going puts a target on her back, then at least she was true to herself.
I don't think she's got a target on her back regardless, but
yeah. I was gonna say, like, do you think that's the right mindset for her to have? Do you think being emotional is, like, could hurt your game or help?
you know, it's hard for me to answer that kind of thing because I've never done Survivor. You know, the multiple shows that I've done and everything, I got emotional on both. And but mine weren't like competitive, like voting people out. Mine were just me crying because I got eliminated, and then my partner got medically evac'd. So it's just like it's hard for me to sit there and say you can't be emotional in the game, because emotions they're everywhere. You're always going to have them, especially when you're on your dream show of Survivor. Like, you've worked so hard to be on there. You've gone through casting. You've done all of that. You know, and so with her saying that she's got a target on her back, I don't really think she does, but I totally get the emotional piece to it as well.
Yeah. I mean, I do think when you're out there, it seems like the relationships do become so real. We hear Blue Sophie say, like, she feels closer to Savannah and Rizzo than she feels to some people she's friends with at home. So I feel like that really does put into perspective, like, how close you get to people out there. And, like, Isabel says that she thinks Sophie didn't really realize how much Jawan meant to Sage, which maybe, you know, they were a close duo. And I don't know, that could be something to think about when voting people out, like what the reactions of other people are going to be, and how is that going to hurt you come the next vote. Maybe that Sophie should have thought about that a little more.
And maybe she should have. I mean, we've seen this happen in the past several times. You know, you got the queen, Sandra. You said my name, you're gone. You know, you got to be careful with what you say and who you vote out. And, you know, I think Yellow Sophie leading that Jawan vote definitely put a target on her back. Yeah. And plus all of her immunity when she was building a pretty good resume.
She was. And then on the flip side, we hear Yellow Sophie say, like, it's a game. Like, she hopes that people, like, see it as a game. Like, things are happening at this point because it is a game and everyone wants to get to the end to win. Do you think that is a better mindset to have at this point?
You know, it's and I go back to one of my other quotes, you know, you're on your dream show, Survivor. You're trying your hardest. You're trying to win it. There's going to be emotions regardless. But I do believe you got to continue putting in your head that it's a game. Like, I will be friends with all these people after the show, after whoever gets the winning money and all that stuff. You'll be friends with them or you won't. And it's just one of those pieces to where you guys are all living a specific moment together at a specific time. You're bonding regardless if you hate each other or not. But to go back to it, I really think you got to keep that in your head. It's a game. It's a game.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Like, I think in my head, like, I would be like, I know it's a game, but I think it would be hard to not let emotions come out at some points, like we see with Sage and how it's kind of been going for her.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I completely I just told you I cried on both my shows. Like,
Yeah.
I told you the emotional piece, but
For
it's a
sure.
game.
Yeah. It is a game. And we do see them playing the game. Like Savannah and Rizzo are playing the game. Like they're not taking into account people's emotions. Like when Rizzo's playing a fake idol, like, and voting Joanne out, you know,
Yeah,
they're playing the game. So,
they are.
and then let's see. Jeff asks, what layer does not knowing what Steven's advantages mean for the game? Like, how important is it to not know what it is, and how does that impact the game? And
Go ahead.
that's when Rizzo says, like, he still has his immunity idol. Do you think, like, them not knowing what Steven has is better or worse for him? And kind of like for Rizzo, like, do we think everyone knowing that he has an idol is kind of helping him at this point?
I don't know if it's helping him because he somehow has still been skating by it all without playing his idol. So I think the fear of him having an idol, I mean, you got to get rid of him soon because he's going to play it, Final Fives when they can play it or something like that?
Yeah.
So you got to start targeting him here soon to flush it out and make him vulnerable. Otherwise, he's making the Final Four. So I don't know. And with Steven not telling people, I think he's doing the right thing. I think he's creating paranoia. I don't think I've ever seen Rizzo go up to anybody other than Savannah and start talking game like he did with Steven. And then, like you said, he calculated, oh, you have a steal a vote. And it's like, no, no, he doesn't. But you can tell, like, all these things are racing through Rizzo's head right now of what's going on and what does he have. And so it's, I don't know. I love that Steven's not telling anybody. And I hope he plays it without anybody knowing.
Yeah. I like that I like that he went into it, said, I did get an advantage, because at this point, everyone's going to think he has it if he said he didn't anyway. So I think just saying straight up that he has one was smart. And I think him not telling anyone what it is also smart, because at the end of the day, he really doesn't owe any of them anything. Like maybe Christina could be the one person that would make sense, but they've all lied to each other. So him keeping that to himself, I feel like, is understandable.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And the Gemini type says it's very important that Sophie B doesn't know what Steven's advantage is, so she can't take it. Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
But the craziest thing is nobody knows she even has it.
Yeah.
So Steven's just doing it just to do it. He's not trying to protect it. That's the crazy thing, is Steven's just doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it would be crazy. I mean, yeah, I guess even going into this next round, like, they have the numbers over them. So it doesn't even make sense for him to tell, like, Sophie B to get someone on their side. They don't need it.
I bet you he reveals it, and this is just speculation because I love the show so much and I go through my head like crazy with these shows. I bet you he ends up telling Christina, saying, hey, we have our chance to take one of them out. Let's do it. And then, because if you're telling Christina or even Sage, if you're telling them that and you're like, I want to get this person out, but that's going to be a tie. Like, how do we not do a tie? Like, nobody wants to draw rocks. Oh, I can do it with my advantage.
Yeah. Do you think Christina or Sage would tell anyone about it?
Sage, I don't know. Christina, no.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Christina would either. I can't imagine it being beneficial for Sage to tell the other three, because I feel like she's going to just go into this wanting Savannah out again.
Yeah, I think they're all going to start taking a harder look at Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie. I think it's coming down to their time.
I think so too. I really hope that this works out for Steven and that he uses it in a way that it does work. I just hope, I don't know, I just hope that works out for them. But you know what? On the flip side, it would be pretty crazy to see Rizzo get through with his idol again, and then, all three of them stay intact with these things
Yeah,
again.
That'd be wild if Rizzo keeps his idol. I still can't believe he has it.
No, it's so crazy that they haven't tried even harder to get him to just flush it.
Everybody knows about it, and nobody's tried. I mean, they've tried, but it's never worked.
It's never worked.
That's wild to me.
It is. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know. It'll be. Hopefully Sophie does. If Sophie takes it from him, that really would be impressive. And hopefully, okay. What happens? What happens if at this next vote, Steven plays his block a vote, blocks one of them. Sophie plays her knowledge is power, takes the idol. Who do you think goes home?
I mean, that'd be the biggest move of the season. Is if they do a block a vote, Sophie takes Rizzo's idol and Rizzo goes home. That would be the move of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That would be absolutely wild. But I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, and it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, I will. I'm wondering, is it better to take the idol and send Rizzo home, or just keep him and just still send home Savannah?
I guess I guess we'd have to see how that plays out, because, I mean, I do think Savannah wins over Rizzo at the final. If they get there, I think Savannah wins it. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think she wins it if she's at the final 3 with Rizzo.
Do you think Sophie would take the idol and then play it on one of them? Play it on Rizzo or Savannah?
I hope not. That would be wild too.
And then they vote Steven out or something?
Yeah, that would be. Man, you got my head going crazy right now. I'm trying.
I don't know how that would be beneficial, but
trying to keep my thoughts straight.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
But so the vote goes through. They go to vote. Unanimous vote. Sophie goes home. Steven has his advantage. Rizzo has his idol. And Sophie was kind of oh, you guys got me. She wasn't upset. She kind of went away smiling, kind of happy. How do you feel about that? When people are voted out and they're good about it, they're not upset.
It's good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
I'm here to play a game, and it's my time, wow, you guys blindsided me. That's a hell of a play. I was for sure that Savannah was going home. It's just being a good sport about it. Is her feelings hurt? Probably. But, I mean, you got to respect other people's games too.
Yeah. I think she understands why she was a target. And I think out of all of them, she even said, it's a game. And at that point, you gotta remember that when you're playing. So I feel like she gets it, I think she knows that she was doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So that's it. We get to the end of the episode. Do you have any thoughts on any other thoughts that we haven't discussed about this episode, or?
I think we did a pretty good deep dive.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. It'll be exciting to see what's next. Let's go for a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back and send in any questions you have, and we'll get to those and do our social butterfly. So Let me find the commercial.
Do you have what it takes to outwit, outplay, and outlast? Katie does. Since 2015, she's been handcrafting Survivor treasures for superfans just like you. Hidden immunity idols, she's got them. From one world to the Philippines. Every piece is designed and created by Katie herself. Check this out. Katie's brand new tribe emblem coin, a collectible inspired by Survivor All-Stars, a must-have for any superfan. Keychains, oh yeah. Ride along with Keith's legendary Tuk Tuk or try your luck with the Do or Die twist. What is that, the most famous stick in Survivor history? Yes, that stick. Katie doesn't stop at idols. Oh no, she's even bringing in international flavor with an Australian Survivor cookie idol twist. Idol nullifier, safe or not safe, she's got them too. How about something you can actually wear to tribal? Katie's Survivor earrings are hot right now. Want your idols on the go? How about keychains? Take your tribe with you everywhere. And don't forget Katie's most famous Survivor product, Survivor trading cards. Fans love them, and so do the players. With over 500 cards and full stats on the back, you can collect your favorites from every season, including the full jury from Survivor 48. Katie Tedesco Art is the Survivor super fan shop, made by a fan for the fans since 2015. Check it out now on Etsy.com and follow her on Instagram at Katie Tedesco Art.
Okay, so it is time for social hour. We'll get into any questions that were sent in. So first we have one from Ollie. Which advantage do we think is going to be more useful? Knowledge is power or block a vote?
I think it's all dependent on how you use it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the knowledge power is huge, but Rizzo still has his idol. Everybody knows about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point it really does come down to how you use it. I think if Sophie plays it and takes his idol and gets one of them out, I think that's great. If she doesn't play it, then, you know, not useful. But if Steven successfully gets to block a vote and get one of them out and maybe even take the idol out with them, like...
I mean, if you think about it, if Steven gets the numbers and Rizzo doesn't play his idol again and he uses his block a vote, then Blue Sophie has nothing she can claim. Then that knowledge of power is useless.
Yeah. This is actually really like her last chance, this next one. So we'll see. Zan says, I hope knowledge is power because we have waited weeks and weeks for its payoff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It would be fun to see it get played, get used. Because like we said earlier, her sitting in the end, having the knowledge is power, and then saying that in the end isn't going to be helpful for her.
Nope.
Not at all. So another question from Isabel. Is there any way Sophie wins sitting next to Savannah and Rizzo? Could Alex be her champion on jury? We kind of mentioned this a little bit. I actually forgot about Alex. Do you think Alex would be rooting for her?
I don't know, because once the merge happens, they kind of stopped playing with each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Alex has a soft spot for Sophie or not.
And she kind of blindsided him.
And she did blindside him too, yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't think Sophie has a chance if Rizzo and Savannah are up there.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the jury would kind of be open with who they would vote for.
Yeah, I don't know who would win it, but I bet it'd be Savannah or Rizzo.
Yeah.
It could be a close vote.
It could, honestly. Okay, another one. The Gemini type. Alex, what happens when you get to the pit stop at the end of a leg?
Oh, you go home. You go home. It sucks.
Had to just throw it in there.
Yeah, so you get eliminated at a pit stop. You go straight home. If you don't go home and you're not eliminated, then you get ready for the next leg the next day. So it's one or the other. You're either sleeping or you're going to the bar.
And you want to stay in the game. You don't want to go home.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to go home.
Let's see. One more question. We have Matt Namite, who has been on the podcast a few times. Do we think we see knowledge is power curse continue and it gets misused or brought to final tribal?
I mean, right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say right now, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah. I was gonna say I think it depends on this next episode, honestly. I think this next one is gonna be the deciding.
Something's got to happen with it, otherwise it's dead in the water.
Yeah. I hope she at least tries to play it, you know? Even if it doesn't work, I hope she tries. I feel like that's better than not.
Even just revealing it, like even if you don't take Rizzo's idol or you ask somebody else, like, hey, do you have an idol or can I have your advantage? At least that would blow the jury's mind right then and there. Like, oh, how long she had that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But taking it all the way to final tribal, it's useless.
Yeah. Do you think at this point Rizzo would play his idol for Savannah? Or it's just for him?
I bet he holds it for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting at that point in the game to where you're thinking final 3. So
yeah,
if you get a target on your back, you're going home.
Yeah. I think at this point he'd play it for himself over anyone else. I think earlier in the game, playing it for other people maybe makes sense, especially Savannah because they were so close. But at this point, I think he has to save it for himself.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
And Zan says they have brought it up almost every week. Something has to happen. Maybe.
Something's got to happen.
Hopefully. All right. If you have any other questions, send them in now. Otherwise, we're going to get into Social Butterfly. So let's get into it. So now we're just going to finish it off with Social Butterfly, which is who we think did the best socially in this episode, in just this episode. Do you have one?
Well, it's kind of hard because everybody's kind of still staying with their clique, and they all voted Sophie. Like,
yeah,
you can't say Sophie gets it because she went home.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you think?
I'm kind of between two. I want to say the first one that came to mind immediately was Steven. I think he just did a good job this episode with how he kind of went about the journey, coming back with telling everyone he has an advantage and how he played that with everyone. And I think his conversations with Rizzo and picking Rizzo for the journey or for the reward was smart. And I think that really helped him, you know, get to talk game a little bit more and to still hold on to his advantage into the next round. But then I also was thinking Rizzo because Rizzo was someone that I feel like he put in work this episode to make sure it wasn't one of them. And he, you know, I feel like he did do good work with Steven saying like, you can keep your advantage. Like, let's do this instead, as long as it's not me, you know? So I'm kind of torn.
I'd have to agree with a lot of that. And I'd have to swing more Steven though, because I do agree with all your points. And when Rizzo was sitting there saying it's a steal a vote, you know, Steven was just like, oh, you're coming right at me like that. And he still didn't tell him. So like socially, I think Steven's played it really well this week. Not telling anybody, letting Rizzo talk, letting Rizzo think whatever he wanted to think, getting paranoid and stuff like that. But I do kind of respect Rizzo for trying, you know?
Yeah.
Because he did try. How many times have we seen Steven and Rizzo just talking on camera? We haven't seen that very much. So, but I'd say Steven on top of it all.
Yeah, I agree. I think Steven was a social butterfly, and I think this was his episode. This is a really good episode for him.
Yeah, he's about to change the game, I hope.
He is, yeah, hopefully. So, yeah, and let's see. Zan says, Steven Rizzo was a social caterpillar waiting for metamorphosis. Yeah. And his cocoon of idle safety. Yeah.
That's funny.
That was good. I agree. Steven, congratulations on being our social butterfly this week for this episode. And this now brings us to the end of our episode. So thank you everyone for tuning in and chatting with us. Alex, thank you so much for coming on and talking with me. This was so much fun getting to hear your thoughts on Survivor and all your thoughts on even Naked and Afraid and The Amazing Race. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah. And where can the people find you?
I've got social media. I'm not very good at it, but I got Facebook. You can find me on Facebook. My Instagram handle is Alex T Manard. And then, yeah, those are the only two I'm on, and I post every now.
Well,
I'm so bad at it.
well, thank you again. This was so much fun. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry for coughing. I have like heat on me and it's like too much. Sorry.
No,
Thank you so much for coming on, and make sure you tune in to the pre-show this week on Wednesday for the next episode, and immediately after, make sure you tune into the after show. Remember to like and subscribe to Survivor Now on YouTube and Spotify, and follow us on Instagram at the Survivor Now podcast. And we will see you next week. Remember to stay social. Bye.